Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, you love great dollar store finds? We do too. And who doesn't love a bargain? Well, your local, somewhat dollar store has them every day.
Yes. Today and every Wednesday we share unbelievable DVD finds. This week we have found Son of Bigfoot. Can you believe it? Yes, it exists. We're reviewing a obscure movie and it's exactly how it sounds. The title is true to itself.
Now this is a surprisingly fun movie that's about a teen who's been bullied nearly every day until one day he starts to get strange powers like increased hair growth and so forth. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click occasional updates on future podcasts and multiple videos.
Absolutely. So here is what the back of the case says. Teenage outsider Adam sets out on an epic and daring quest to uncover the mystery behind his long-lost dad, only to find out that he is none other than the legendary Bigfoot.
Dun dun dun.
He's been hiding deep in the forest for years to protect himself and his family from Harco. That's right, H-A-A-R-C-O.
Yeah.
A giant corporation, not an evil corporation,
I guess.
eager to run scientific experiments with his special DNA. Yeah, we're not kidding. This is what the case says.
Yeah.
As father and son start making up for lost time, but not this movie, Adam soon discovers that he too is gifted with superpowers beyond his imagination, like rapid hair growth and super big feet and super strength.
Right.
But little do they know, Harco, H-A-R-C-O,
yes.
Harco, is on their tail as Adam's traces have led them to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Adam's traces. What sense does that make?
No.
I think they mean tracks, but it literally says traces.
Yeah, did they translate that right?
So yes, I really was reading the back of the case. Yes, it's really a description. Yes, it's really that long-winded. Yes, it really says Harco.
Yes, it's absolutely hilarious. And I already actually had a few reviews of this on YouTube from Saber Spark and others, like, what the heck is this movie? Because at some point it did trend online for a little bit, mostly for the designs of the characters, especially how the mom looked, and just the fact that this plot even existed for a film. And apparently it was a French movie, and then it got translated over here, but you couldn't even tell it was dubbed because it looked like it was English language anyway.
Studio Canal, yeah.
Right. And in here, we were actually surprised that it was actually a decent film. It wasn't a fantastic movie, but it wasn't something where it was just so mind-bogglingly bad that you wanted to turn it off. It was just like, it was almost like a train where you couldn't stop watching all the things that were happening.
Now, if you want to have an idea for the feel of this movie, it was done by the executive producer of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies.
Right.
So that's kind of the feel that it absolutely has.
Right.
And as Rascal said, it is fun to watch. It starts off a little weird.
Yeah.
And like a lot of movies now, you have a tragedy in the beginning, what you think is a tragedy, until you watch it and find out it's not a tragedy, but it's kind of a tragedy in the events that happened, but it's not the tragedy in the way you thought it was a tragedy. It's a different tragedy.
Right. It's like, oh, what did you just say?
And it gets interesting at points, and then it goes back crazy at points.
Right.
And you've got the villain that's an overdone villain, like it's done in a lot of these type of movies. Mm-hmm. And you got the kid that's a kid that doesn't listen to authority, like a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
You've got the mom that's a single mom who's trying to get control of her son, like it's done in a lot of these movies.
Right.
So as you can tell from the description, there's a lot of tropes that happen in this movie.
Yes.
But somehow the tropes work out enough that you keep watching it, and that it got then it got a sequel that's available now on Netflix.
Yes, and we were just really surprised. Apparently it made double back what it did at the theater, so they said, hey, it's enough money, so let's go ahead and make another one. Didn't even expect this to have a sequel in the first place. And what's kind of hilarious is that this is kind of like its own superhero movie, because when Adam gets his powers, like at one point they explained like it was for his dad's and rather rapid, unnatural hair growth. Well, apparently with the serum, he also got he got super strength, he got super speed, he can understand animals, he has giant feet, He has athletic abilities, super hearing, and it's like, are you sure you're Bigfoot and not Superman?
Right.
Because they even point out, like, a lot of times, like, it was like reading a comic. So in a way, this Bigfoot movie is almost like a superhero movie.
Now, the good parts about this movie are the animation is really good.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And the music is original soundtrack. You can tell by, you don't recognize the songs, but you can tell by how the music matches the scenes. They did a really great job of matching up the music with the action, putting it in proper places. There wasn't too much of it. They didn't have the sappy, sad music in the parts that were supposed to be sad. The soundtrack is really good for this movie. So you got great animation and a great soundtrack, which is really a surprise. And the voice acting is good. You're not listening to it and going, oh gosh, why they cast this person? This isn't good. The voices and the voice actors fit the characters that they're voicing.
Right. And they also end up having a happier ending than we expected, because usually films like this have some sort of tragedy and it kind of wastes your time watching it. But glad to report that this time it didn't happen. It actually has a little bit of a sillier ending, because it's sort of stated that, the dad can't go back to the open because, well, look how he looks. He looks like Bigfoot. He'd be hunting and everything. It becomes like a really big deal until you kind of look at him, and then you'll probably notice that he looks like how a lot of people like to design fictional characters or mythical beings, where they're glamored up to be attractive and people want to date them. So this version of Bigfoot isn't even really like the types you see of Sasquatch, where they're really scary or really gross looking or anything. They make them more they made them more the attractive route, and it's kind of hilarious that they even did that.
Well, it was good enough for us to want to watch the sequel. What is it called?
Bigfoot Family. Yeah, it's a Netflix movie.
So we're going to give it a try. At least we don't have to spend the money on it. So, do you recommend that you buy this if you see it at your no longer a dollar store?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, go ahead and spend the $1, $1.10, $1.25, whatever it is in your area. It is worth the buy. It's a fun view, and then you can just donate it when you're done.
Yeah, and it's not a bad movie to watch. It's even good for background noise because it's pretty safe to watch. There really isn't anything that kids can't see in it. It might be a little silly at times, but something they would like, especially seeing all of the animals on screen.
Absolutely. So we recommend give it $1 to $1.25 buy and watch it. If you've seen some Bigfoot already, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, head to your local dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, 99-cent only.
Right.
And see, can you find it and give it a watch.
And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and news on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.